Please give a warm round of applause for Vice President of Sales, Mr. Larry Levenberg.
Good afternoon. I hope everyone is doing great. And by the way, when Frank walked out the beginning of this, I heard a bunch of people yelling Frank's name. I got nothing. Frank, thanks. Well, I'm here to talk a little bit about the business, where we're at right now, and more importantly, where we're headed and some of the exciting things that we're doing. But first, before I get started, I came in yesterday, and a lot of our partners came in yesterday as well. And last night, just talking to a lot of partners, there seems to be a real buzz, and it seems to be excitement, and the folks are talking about the business getting stronger, and they're talking about their own personal businesses getting stronger. So that's exciting to me. It really feels like we got a different buzz going on at this, and I hope that lasts for the entire event. We have a great event planned for you, and I just really encourage you to participate. And one of the comments that we get back in our surveys as we go through these events is it's valuable that we provide the information, it's valuable that we tell you what we're doing, but as valuable is making sure that you talk to your peers, talk to the other companies that are here, talk about what they're doing in their best practices, and I think you can pick up a lot of what they're finding success with that you can put into your own business. So that's as important. So I really encourage everybody to talk with each other and enjoy the event. So today we've got our solution integrators, which I'd like to welcome. We've also got our distribution partners in the room. We've got our partners from Latin America. We've got partners from Canada, as well as we've got several industry consultants. So I welcome you all to the event, and we hope to make it very meaningful for everybody. What I'm going to talk about is a little bit about 2016 in review. Some of the accolades that we've gotten, some of the awards that we've gotten for some of what we've been doing. Leveraging the changes in the industry. As you heard Ty say, there's some exciting changes, unfortunate maybe for some of our competitors, but quite fortunate for us. And the NEC organizational update. You heard during Frank's presentation, he talked about what I'm responsible for. That has changed a little bit in the last 6 months. So I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about how I think that's going to help us all grow together. And I think that we, putting both all the sales organization under one organization and management team, I think is going to pay off for everybody in this room. So we'll talk about that a little bit, and then we're going to talk about the enterprise, the Smart Enterprise portfolio. It's not my job to get up here and explain the portfolio. What I want to do is encourage you to go to the breakout sessions, to go to the sessions where we have the product experts, we have the people that really know what they're talking about to give you a deep dive. So I encourage you to spend the time doing that at the breakouts. And then some of the successes, some customers that we had success with this year, not only in our traditional UC core, but all of the Smart Enterprise and some of those solutions. So we'll get to it right now, and then I'll do a little summary for you. So in review, we've been talking about Smart Enterprise for a few years. The theme of this is Experience Smart Enterprise because it's here, because it's working, and we have customers that have embraced it, and we've had many of our partners, that have embraced it as well, and it's beginning to really work. Well, one of the industry analysts here, Frost & Sullivan, they actually looked at our strategy, spent some time going through what we're doing differently than our competitors, and gave us an award for the Enterprise Communication Strategy Company of the Year. So we're very proud to be acknowledged by them, but more importantly, what does that mean to the end users and how do we find success there? And they've addressed those. They actually pulled out some things. One of them, the implementation of best practices, proactively development of comprehensive portfolio to address key customer challenges. That's exactly what Smart Enterprise is, and they got it, they understood it, and they gave us an award based on it. So happy to receive that. You're going to hear a lot about NeoFace Watch in our biometrics over the next few days because that's the newest channel-ready product or solution that we're introducing into Smart Enterprise. So you're going to hear a lot about that. Well, just to give you just a taste of what the industry sees, we have been doing biometrics for years, but it's been primarily for law enforcement. We have now introduced it to the enterprise and through our channel partners to start taking all of that technology that we've perfected over the years and let's bring it into the enterprise and figure out lots of different applications this can be used for. So you're going to hear about that, but one of the stats that always impresses me, NEC increased the speed to 3 million images every second twice the average processing speed of our competitors. So we're not leading by a small margin in this technology. We are leading by a very large margin. We are the leaders in this industry. We have to take that technology and let's figure out how we make it better for the enterprise and how we use it for the enterprise and how you can grow your businesses using it. So you're going to hear a lot about that over the next couple of days. Internet telephony also got Product of the Year for our NEC Smart Enterprise suite of solutions. If any of you have had me out with your customers or prospects over the last year, you won't get me out of the room without talking about this because I'm just proud to work for a company that at 109 years old receives one of the top 50 of the most innovative companies in the world by Boston Consulting Group, a very well-respected consulting group. So think about that. I mean, we're up there with companies like Apple and Google and Microsoft and some other great companies. But we're the oldest out of that pack. We're probably, I haven't gone through it, but we're probably the oldest company within that top 50, and we get awarded as one of the top 50 of the most innovative companies. That says a lot about our DNA. It says a lot about what we do and what we pride ourselves on. So we're all very, very proud of that. So please use that when you're out talking with your customers and prospects. We did receive, and this is for telephony endpoints and also licenses, #1 worldwide for Q4, and that's in the last 6 quarters we have led all manufacturers in global shipments in the world. This one we're quite proud of. We have hit #1 in market share in SMB for the 2nd consecutive year. We've been going back and forth a little bit with Panasonic, but I know that the majority of our partners in this room have contributed to that number. So being global worldwide means that North America, Latin America, and Canada had to be a huge contributor to make this happen. And so I really, I want to thank everybody in this room for the business. I want to thank everybody for continuing to be loyal to NEC and continuing to help us receive that for under 100 lines, #1 in SMB, 2 consecutive years in a row. So we talked a little bit about changes, and some of our competitors are suffering a little bit, but we're going to take advantage of that and make sure that we take those opportunities and do something with them. Everyone's heard of Avaya's files for Chapter 11. We are now beginning to see a lot more Nortel replacements, whereas a lot of the Nortel customers in the past, we've certainly done a pretty good job marketing to them. We've done a good job of it. I know that you in this room have done a great job of getting out there and talking about it, but a lot of those customers just stayed where they were. Well, now instead of doing some upgrades into the Avaya Red, we're finding that those customers are making other decisions based on their uncomfortable situation that is with Avaya. In just March alone, we replaced over 5,000 Nortel ports that were replaced. So it is starting to really make a difference out there, and I encourage everybody to take advantage of that. A lot of ongoing initiatives. We've got blogs, we've got some marketing initiatives. We have a 5-step campaign that's been ongoing, and we're starting to see the fruits of that. Also, Toshiba pulls out of North America and Mexico for communications. They've completely pulled out of the market, and they did it overnight, literally. They caught all their employees by surprise. They caught all their partners by surprise. They caught their distributors who distribute their products by surprise. It was literally overnight. They pulled out of the market. Well, why is that? I have my own feelings, right? Obviously, there's some financial issues that they're dealing with. But is it that they're too dependent on voice and UC? Do they not have more in their quiver to sell than UC and voice? We all know that voice is a great market, and we've all made a very good living over many, many years selling voice, but sometimes it's not enough. It's a mature market. It's a market that's growing at a very slow pace, so you have to surround yourself with more. If you want to be successful, if you want to sell more, you've got to surround yourself with more technologies. And unfortunately, Toshiba was unable to do that. We are, right? We have something called Smart Enterprise, and we're bringing more technologies to this solution set, and you're going to see a lot about it over the next couple of days. But we have a differentiator, right? And in you have a differentiator. You can bring much more to your customers than just UC and just voice. That's the message. So let me talk a little bit about the organizational update. So we have channel sales, and we have a direct sales group. Well, until recently, those were under two separate management organizations, and I'll be very open and transparent in here. Some of what I thought previously was done with a direct organization, they didn't have a great structure in my mind, and sometimes we lost our way, and we competed a little bit with our channel partners, mainly the enterprise channel partners, and there was a lot of friction. We needed to break that down, and we need to break that down quickly. So we've first just take a look at what it looks like. So our direct organization today makes up about 9% of the overall business here in North America for UC call, control, and shipments. Now they also play a very important role in bringing new technology to the market, and I'm going to explain that and what that means. So our direct organization is now, in my mind, very focused under new leadership, and that leadership is here at this event. Right? So for the first time at one of our Advantage meetings, we now have the direct organization management group here to talk with you, and here, let's figure out how we do things together, and let's work on opportunities. Last night, there was a good example of our direct organization talking with one of the owners of one of our channel partners in Southern California. They spent a couple of hours talking, just figuring out how they could do some business together, and they walked away with an opportunity that they're going to deal with next week. So that's the beauty of putting it under one management, and let's talk about what that means. So before I get that, I just want to see if the direct folks are here so that everybody could see their face. So Tom, can you stand up? Tom Boyhan, Vice President of Sales, runs it. We've got, what's that? And then we've got Mr. Scott Drury is here. We got Mike Vedricelli, who runs the operations group. We've got Loretta Biglin, Stu Ozer. Did I get everybody? Okay, so this is the management group for our direct organization. I'd like you to get to know them. They're great people, very strong group of people, and we're going to talk about how we better align ourselves. So thank you, guys. So let me just kind of try to put it into a bullet for you. So Tai Hashizawa, who was just out here, I work for. And under that organization, we've got this channel sales organization, which all of you should be familiar with. Enterprise East and West, we got Mr. Mark Hebner and Terry Toller that run that. We've got distribution and SMB under Al Kelly, which many of you know very, very well. We've got LASK, which is run by Mr. Kulihari, underneath the management of Richard Waldrop. And then in Canada, we've got Don Stewart, who runs that entire organization for us in Canada. And then in sales operations, a new function that we've put into the channel organization that spans all of those different groups is run by Richard Waldrop, who has a lot of responsibility, but has been up to the task and doing a good job there. So the idea of that group, management and account teams focused on increasing your sales and helping you succeed. We've also changed a little bit in the product management and that group, which is led under Mr. Okiyama and Ram Magani, who you all know. So they've broken it out with a couple of strategic areas that I think are going to help us, especially help us with the Smart Enterprise going to market, messaging, and how do we package some of this together. That's really critical, right? It's great that we have all these solutions, but what's the message? What's the value proposition? How do I package them together to help you be more successful? So that's key. So we have the solution support and design, which is centralized. We centralized all of the sales engineers and solution architects. We centralized the product portfolio team, so now the IT group and the SDN group and the communications group are all under one roof and cross-training. We've got tech support, we've got development and innovation teams as well. So the function there is solution innovation, right? Development, portfolio management, and support in that organization run by Mr. Okiyama and Rob. The other group that we strategically put together is to do what I just said about bringing these technologies together, packaging them in such a way that we can put value propositions out to the marketplace and make you more successful and give you more solutions to sell. Last year we did this with UC and high availability. And what we did is we packaged up our fault-tolerant server with our software for either for the 9500 and or UC or 3C. And we went out to market and packaged it in that way, and we had a lot of success. We changed the conversation about, being a vendor with a lot of hardware to a software-based solution on a fault-tolerant server that is unique in the marketplace. And now what that has transposed to, once people begin to see the power of our fault-tolerant servers, they're now purchasing more for other places in their business to put other critical applications on. So it's beginning to work and feed upon itself. So you'll see lots more of those solutions put together by the sales development team. So their job is solution packaging, messaging, and target markets. And finally, the direct sales organization, which I just introduced. So direct and channel cooperation is part of what we're going to accomplish. Define some rules of engagement. Let's know what the plan is. Let's talk about what the rules look like so that we can all know going in how this is going to work. We've got some named strategic accounts we'll talk about. And NEC Smart Enterprise. The direct organization, I can't emphasize enough, is so important for all of our success. They are the ones that will be leading a lot of the new solutions as they evolve and as we develop more like NeoFace Watch, the biometrics one I spoke of. They had just accomplished putting a queue control into the Houston airport. Now that took some time, it took a lot of effort, it took a lot of work, but they successfully went through it. Now that application can be utilized in a lot of other places, but what it took was that team getting in there, rolling up their sleeves, selling it, and then making it all work. So they're critically important to us being successful as a company going forward. So the go-to-market defines strategic accounts and net new opportunities. The other very, very important piece of our direct organization is to go after a lot of net new enterprise opportunities, new labels, if you will. So the goal is to grow together while avoiding conflict, right? Foster a culture of cooperation and mutual respect. And I'm already seeing real good examples of that happening. More opportunities to work together, several examples. As I mentioned, one just came out last night, but there's several examples of our partners working with our direct organization. And direct to focus on strategic accounts. So they're going to focus on about approximately 7 strategic accounts that are part of our maintenance base today, and then go after some net new labels. What this does is allows them to focus on those group of customers and bring more of our technology to them, and allows them not to be spread too thin in the marketplace. It allows them to focus, and we really believe this is the recipe for success. So Smart Enterprise portfolio, I'm not going to talk a lot about it. You're going to hear about this throughout the next few days. But the ones that we primarily have introduced thus far are the ones that are in blue. So UC&C, we all know that. Storage and servers have been introduced, and we've sold quite a few storage and servers last year, and we're beginning to package those up to make them even more appealing with a better value prop. We got software-defined networking. We've talked about that. We've had a couple of our partners already sell some software-defined networking with UC, as well as our direct organization, been quite successful there. And then cloud. Delivery. We could deliver in several different methods, right? Biometrics, the other one down on the bottom there, that's what you're going to hear about this week. And we have an example of that in what we call NeoFace Watch. I'm not going to tell you all about NeoFace Watch, but I am going to ask you to please don't miss Thursday's 11 o'clock general session. The reason is because we're going to have a full demonstration of everything that NeoFace Watch can do. We're going to be demoing it, we're going to be talking about it, it'll be interactive, but I promise you, you want to be at that so that you can see all the power of what this biometric software can do for us going forward. Ty talked about Smart Enterprise. The word enterprise does not mean enterprise as large. It means enterprise businesses of all sizes. And we believe there's a lot of activity, or there's a lot of opportunity, I should say, in the SMB space with Smart Enterprise. A couple of examples. We've introduced a line of cameras. We have a new software that runs on our UT880s that you can actually integrate and see those cameras off of the UT880. We have video surveillance software, all tied in as one. Well, in that, those customers also need storage. So now you can introduce storage products, and you're just adding that much more to the sale and adding to it. So several examples of Smart Enterprise in the SMB, and you'll see more by Ram and team as the event goes on. We've also introduced 2 new capabilities into UNIVERGE Blue under the Blue umbrella. This year we introduced what we call the SV9100 Blue, which is an OPEX model. And it's been well received. We've already sold a few of those. And then we also introduced SIP trunking, which has also been well received and a recent example of some fairly large opportunities that we just closed with SIP trunking. So that's our Blue umbrella and the solutions that we have under it. The 2 new ones are 9100 Blue. You're going to hear about this at a breakout session on cloud. Please attend it to get all the details. So none of this matters unless it works, right? And so what I wanted to do was just show a couple of examples of some customers that we've had some real success with this year. In the education, Wichita Public Schools upgraded their entire network, which was 2400s and or 8500s into 9500s with fault-tolerant servers. So now all of their switches are sitting in a data room rather than out in closets as previous. And they bought into the whole story, and now we're talking to them about SDN and some other technologies. Lipscomb University, sold by one of our good partners, CTEL, in Nashville, Tennessee. This was an interesting project. This was a Cisco customer 6 months ago. And 10 years ago, or 8 years ago, they were an NEC customer. Cisco came in there, new CIO, we've all heard the story, right? Comes in, decides Cisco's what they want, and they go in there and they do the switch out, and all of a sudden, after spending some time and after really understanding and somebody rolling up their sleeves and figuring out what they really get and what they're really paying for, they wanted to open it up back to bid. We came in, we were the successful winner of that, and again, another example where Smart Enterprise made the difference. They're buying UC from us, but they're buying it from a company that is an IT-based company. They see NEC as a much bigger picture than just UC. We'll go back next month, we're presenting SDN for their network. And doing some other things with fault-tolerant servers. So that's why they're doing business with us, because they see us as much more than just a UC voice player. Also some good healthcare customers that we got this year. One of them, Northwell Health, one of the largest healthcare providers on the East Coast, and probably one of the largest in the country, continue to evolve their NEC network. And we removed 2 competitor products, and now the customer is nearly 100% NEC. So again, they believe in our technology. They had competitors that they could compare these solutions. They did bake-offs. We spent a great deal of time going through this, and now they've decided to go their entire network to NEC. So thank you for that. Our great partner, Arrow, has taken care and has really been the key to making that successful. We also have a lot of government opportunities that we closed this year, and a lot of them also embrace the Smart Enterprise. U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, very large, one of NEC's largest clients in the country. They continue to evolve with NEC. They continue to choose us as their premier partner for communications and some other things that we're doing with them. And then hospitality. We have a lot of examples of hospitality. We grew about 30% last year in the hospitality space. We are the premier provider of large hospitality customers. But one of the things that we're now seeing is they're also looking at biometrics, and they're looking at some things they strategically want to do outside of just the communications. So unique VIP benefits, improved response for enhancing the guest experience. It's all about enhancing the guest experience in hospitality. They view us as the partner of choice, and we've grown quite a bit. In fact, this resort last year, or the year before when we were all here, was a Nortel. That Nortel is gone. It's now an NEC switch, and it has been for the last 7 months. So thank you, American Telephone, if you're in here, Tammy, for pulling that off and putting it together so that we could come back and have the right solution in our property here. So I'm going to close with a couple of our results from our programs. And the reason I think this is important is it's really, we want to invest in your success. We want to make sure that we're doing the right things to make sure that you're successful. And part of that is not only offering the solutions, but also making sure that you're profitable. And so we put together some pretty aggressive programs in order to help that along. One of them is called the Smart Rewards. If you're familiar with that, we actually pay based on what solution you're providing, and we pay certain dollars to your sales reps. And this has been a very successful program. We paid out about $163,000 last year. But even more importantly, and I think that really goes to the profit of your businesses, is what we call our Smart Partner Program. This is the kind of cornerstone of how we manage the business from a partner perspective. We have 203 participants in there, 6 triple diamonds, 70 double diamonds, and 127 singles. And out of those folks, we have 155 exclusive dealers. That is remarkable. That means that they're putting all of their trust in NEC to provide their communications needs for their entire business. So having an exclusive partner means a lot to us. It really does, because they're putting all their trust in what we do. And that says a lot about the lineup of product that we have, from the very small to the very large to the smart enterprise differentiators and solutions to add onto their business. So 155 exclusive partners is pretty remarkable. How much did we give away last year in rebates? About $1.9 million. And we do that very happily, because we want to make sure that you're utilizing these programs and you're receiving the benefits of them. And one of the benefits is direct rebates to the bottom line. The other benefit is we can increase your co-op fund. So as you make your your SMART program goals, you get paid. This is significantly up from last year, and the reason that is if you're familiar that we put together a third quarter program and a fourth quarter program that was independent of the yearly program in order to incent the right behavior and get things moving and put the right profits in place for your company. So we're proud of the fact that we're able to increase that rebate amount quite a bit this year. So just in summary, Smart Enterprise is a reality, and it's working. It really is working, and we have proof, and we have customers, and we have happy clients, and we continue to evolve, and you're going to see more and more added to our portfolio of Smart Enterprise. The market's in turmoil, right? Avaya's in turmoil. Toshiba has pulled out of the marketplace. So we're uniquely positioned to take advantage of that. We're already seeing some success there. We can see a lot more, a lot more. New organizational changes with a directed channel under one management team. I think this is going to make sense for us long term. In fact, I know it's going to make sense for us, and we're already seeing some benefits of that. And we focus on programs and solutions that allow you to be successful and profitable. That's key. If you're not successful and you're not profitable, we're not going to be successful, and we understand that. And we're very, very loyal to our channel partners. And we appreciate the business, and we appreciate the consultants in here as well that have driven business our way, because they also believe in the Smart Enterprise story. So with that, I just want to say thank you. Enjoy the event over the next few days. I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun. And please, I'd like to spend as much time with you as possible over the next 3 days. So thank you very much.